Yo, all right, day two. Welcome to day two of the Breakthrough Challenge. I'm super pumped to get going here. I'm very happy to have managed to navigate some technical difficulties at the start, having to restart our router and plenty of other things we had to do, but we've made it. If there's any kind of breakage, any kind of disturbance in the internet connection, know that we will be back on. So just keep refreshing. And welcome to day two. Today, we're moving into your power. So yesterday, we had an overview of the big overarching, the 5 phases, why it's so important to get the right advice or the right guidance for the phase of life that you are in. And today, we're getting into probably the most important movement for most of the world, from phase 1 novice to phase 2 knight. And I'm going to present it in a way I've never presented it before. So I'm excited to do that. And I'm also a little bit nervous. Oh, thanks for all of the hearts and likes and all of that. Any kind of Facebook noise will help with the terrorist algorithm. I was going to call, what would we call them? The overlords algorithm. And you might have noticed in the pre-challenges, we have identified that my profile has some kind of shadow ban on it. Not sure why. So we're going through the page instead of my profile. And we're going into the group. The challenge is happening right now inside the group. I want to give a shout out to all the guys who have been going live over the past 24 hours. We're excited to announce the winners of today's challenge. Well, the challenge has been happening over the past 24 hours, and that will be happening towards the end of today. And let's see who's on with us. I have 3 different devices I'm looking at. I'm looking at the comments in the group. So if you comment on this in the group, I'll also see that. If you comment directly into the live, I'll see that. And I also have, I'm looking at the laptop display here. So I see a number with an I next to it. So if you don't comment, I won't know that you're here. So don't be a lurker, say hello. I am David Tian, in case you didn't know. And in case you stumbled onto this somehow, over the past 15 years, I've been helping hundreds of thousands of people in over 87 countries attain success, happiness, and fulfillment in life and love. And my specialty is helping you become your most attractive self and kick ass in your dating life and in your relationships over the long term by being your true self, by just naturally attracting the good people into your life, the people who will be right for you into your life naturally, without having to do a lot of extra effort or to be fake or anything like that, but just being you, right? So this whole 5 days is going to help you right here in this week break through to that level right here together. We're going to be doing that today as well. So I just want to put that out there. That's what I'm about. Hello to all those who are on. Hey, Paul, good to see you. Marcus, I see Pajush. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Ronnie, good to see you again. And Jared, welcome. Emerja, welcome. James says, I'm excited. Awesome to have you here, James, and loving your lives, loving the lives from Ronnie as well. And Gilbert and Sol, good to see you here. Joel, great that you made it. Congratulations from yesterday, and great to see you live. And Ronnie from Copenhagen. He's at work, so you can just keep it on the download, put it in your AirPods. No one will know. Welcome to today. And again, we're on all different time zones. It's 8 p.m. here in Taipei, Taiwan, where I'm at. And good morning to all of you in the US. Good afternoon, London, UK, or not just London, England, or UK, Europe, and the Middle East, and all in between. Good day to you. So we're getting into day 2 now. And by the way, if you want to catch up on day 1, you can find it here on this page. You can find the training inside the group. But you can also find it in a very beautifully packaged way on our concierge page that has listed all of our the steps and the bonus prizes and all of that. But let's just dive into it today, right away. Today, we're getting into how to move from phase 1 novice into phase 2 knight. I've already started you in that process without you maybe even knowing it, starting yesterday, but we're going to really take it into the next level today. The fact that you're on with us live right now and still watching this tells us something. It tells us that you have committed to your growth. So we want to build on your strengths. We want to build on success and wins. So pat yourself on the back that you have already committed to your own growth and are investing in yourself by being on with us live. Just that is super important. Just that, if you have that attitude, even if you haven't quite figured out how to get that next breakthrough, the fact that you've committed to it, to staying with it, is everything, because it is inevitable. If you stay with it, that will come. Okay, if you just stay with it long enough, and I'll get into the reasons why that's so, but that's a necessary component to success. So often people think it will be easy. These are phase one novices. They think it should come naturally. It shouldn't be hard. Just like love and relationships should be easy. It should just fall into your lap like serendipity. And if you understand how life works, you know that that's BS. But the breakthroughs to make it natural are there. And you might have experienced this in your life, in some other area of your life, where you persisted at working at this skill until it became second nature. For many of us, it was one of our first skills was where life skills, where it became pertinent was like driving. Many of us now can drive the same route to work and sort of daydream and forget when you come off the exit. Sometimes you find yourself daydreaming and you're actually going to a restaurant or something, but you end up going to work by mistake because you daydreamed. Now notice that that's already a kind of natural skill. You can actually do that on even more complex, more important skills in life, including with your dating and relationships, in your career. But for many people, that's not the case. It's not like driving. It hasn't become second nature. It hasn't become natural. It hasn't become autopilot for them. And because they haven't broken through to that next level. So that's what we're going to be doing right here in these 5 days, especially if you commit to engaging with our live challenges. For all our men who are in the challenge group, and women are invited too, for everyone in the challenge group who's going live and doing the action step, I guarantee this challenge will be 10 times more powerful for them. And it's just that simple step of taking that time to reflect right into the fillable PDF, the action sheet, which you can download from the concierge page or from within the group, and then going live for the final step of the action sheet and doing a 1 or 2 minute video where it's really giving you, forcing you to put that skin in the game to make that investment that will force you to follow through. And it's an amazing thing because it's just such a simple thing. A 1 or 2 minute video could mean the difference between a life transformation or just tickling your brain for a day or a week and then forgetting about it a month later. You don't want that to be you, where you forget about it, you don't lock in the transformation. Take that extra step of taking action to force yourself and your brain to follow through. And it's like telling your nervous system and you, I mean business. I am committed to this. If you are committed, if you are all in, type that right here into the comments. Let us know about that. Oh, Andrew, good to see you here. Oh, I'm late joining. Don't worry about the being late. You can pop in and out anytime you want. Also, we had some technical issues at the beginning, so totally cool. This is totally chill. I appreciate all of you being here with us live. Okay, and I'm always going to be looking at the comments, so keep those coming. And any other kind of Facebook noise, even if you put an angry emoji, that will help the engagement. It will help. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. It will help tell Facebook this is not spam and that you're really interested in this. Hey, Remy, good to see you here. I sometimes see notifications coming in as people come in. Don't be a stranger. Say hi. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Again, I'm in Taipei, Taiwan. Okay, so today is all about getting you from that first phase into the second phase. And if you don't figure this out, then you'll get stuck in that kind of inertia where a breakthrough is literally going from one dimension to another dimension. And if you don't even know where that other dimension is, you get stuck and it's like hitting a glass wall. It's sort of like being in a video game and you're at that last level that you figured out. And you know that there's some secret thing you're supposed to open, some hatch, but you don't know where it is. You don't know the hack. So you just keep running around the room until time runs out and then you die. You got to start all over again. If you don't know where that hack is, then you're not going to be able to break through to the next level. And in every case, the breakthrough will not come from doing the thing that got you to that level. The thing that takes you to the next phase is always something completely different. And that's why that's why phases are so different. Within the phase, you can still grow. Sort of like within a video game level, you can progress. But then going from one to the next is a huge dimensional shift. I'm going to show you what I mean here in explaining to you how to go from phase 1 to 2. So let's just dive into that. And I'm going to share my screen for this keynote slide. Now, we had issues yesterday. My team, I think, has coached me through how to do this. So I should be able to hit play right now and it should work. Is that working for you? Okay, I can just see here. There's a 13-second lag between when I say something and then it appears here. Oh, good. Okay. Looks like it's working. So yesterday I covered the skill achievement graph, and a big takeaway from this is that as you make progress, you're going to hit a plateau. And then would be better if there were plateaus instead of sharp peaks here. It'd be more accurate if there were plateaus. And then you plateau, and it feels good at first because you're maintaining your growth, but then inevitably there will be a dip. People would like, by the way, to have growth. I understand this. I forgot to mention this: growth, plateau, growth, plateau. Like that's just like climbing up some stairs. It's never that way. There is always going to be a dip. And the problem with the dip is people start to panic. They start to think, oh no, I'm losing all of my gains. And then they basically try to back out. And if they back out too early, what happens is they just keep sliding deeper and deeper. And you might have experienced this, where I gave the example of people on New Year's Eve making a New Year's resolution to lose weight or something. And they work really, really hard for 6 weeks. And then Valentine's Day hits. And then they might pig out, or they might relax now. And then they actually get worse. By March, they're heavier than they were in December, or something along those, like maybe in April, they're heavier than they were in December. They're like, what's the point? Why even bother working out? I put all this work in and I got nothing to show for it. In fact, I ended up worse. So then they anchor negative growth to actually putting in effort. So they just don't bother. That's the worst. And that's when you get trapped in phase one. And then I covered the emotion formula. Emotion equals the feltness of it, the phenomenology of it, plus your interpretation. And yesterday we really homed in on the interpretation part of this equation. Today we're going to attack both sides of this, and it's going to be really powerful. And yesterday I talked about the reality of this. Can you see my cursor? Let's see. Do you see? I don't think so. Okay, so you can see that we all would like to have steady, consistent, incremental growth. Oh yes, you can see my cursor. And you see this, that's what we all would like. And in fact, life, just even biologically, is more like this. And there is going to be a dip before any kind of breakthrough. And then the other thing to take away from this is each time you hit a big breakthrough into dip, the challenge is completely different from the one before. So if this was just rocks the second time as well, you think, hey, I know how to do the rocks. No big deal, right? It's just another hurdle of rocks. And unfortunately, it's never like that. What got you through to the level you're at now is not what will get you through to the next level. So I really like this illustration of that. Now, I also mentioned the dimensionality of things. Now, imagine you lived your life in one dimension, and all of your friends were in the one dimension. And you hear about people like David Tian talking about two dimensions, and you can't even imagine it. And then suddenly you have a breakthrough. You turn and you see, oh, there's a whole other axis here. And so you open up to two dimensions. Then you live in two dimensions for a couple decades. And you hear about people talking about a third dimension, but you think it's weird as fuck. Like, what's the third dimension? Can't even imagine it, because your entire life is in two dimensions. Imagine your entire life is just lived along two dimensions. Everything in your life you experience in this neighborhood or this plane of two dimensions. And then suddenly you have a breakthrough. And when you have the breakthrough, you suddenly see. It's not a gradual seeing. The gradual process is getting to the breakthrough. But then when you hit that breakthrough, it's like immediate. How many of you have ever had that experience where when the thing that made a big life difference for you, a big life change for you, was preceded by a lot of reflection, self-reflection, maybe putting in some effort, but you didn't see any kind of real growth there. But then all of a sudden there was some big moment where it was like, maybe you finally decided you're going to quit smoking or whatever, and like, that's enough. Or maybe you decided you're going to finally quit drugs or alcohol or porn or whatever. And you said, that's enough, enough is enough. And I'm never going to go back that way again. And suddenly your life changes and you force your way into the third dimension in this example. I'm going to show you a much easier way, a way that doesn't require willpower and discipline, but instead is just a way of seeing. It's just a different choice. There's something that you're not seeing at each phase that gets you stuck in the phase that you're in and not allowing you to break through. But the breakthroughs themselves actually are quite easy. They're quite effortless. They just happen like that. But the problem is it's in an area that is currently a blind spot. Just like the fact that in the third dimension, it's not like three dimensions didn't exist before. They existed. You just didn't know where they were. You didn't know how to see them. Okay, so hopefully these analogies are helping you understand. And today I really want to focus on this analogy of the chrysalis. So imagine here, you got the caterpillar, and then the caterpillar becomes a butterfly. The process by which the caterpillar becomes the butterfly is this really beautiful process of the cocooning, right? The actual chrysalis here. Now imagine, I don't really know what's caterpillar psychology. Imagine, I wonder, do the caterpillars like Joe, does he look up at the butterfly and go, hey, there's my cousin Bob, Joe the caterpillar? I don't know if he ever notices that because it looks so different. And I can imagine in some caterpillar world that the caterpillar is moved to, he has this sort of, I don't know why, but I'm doing this. And he ends up creating a cocoon. And there are actual examples of cocoons that are half eaten or prematurely opened up. And it's just like the thing just dies in there. I didn't want to show them to you because it was quite gross, but that's happened. But normally what happens is the cocoon, the caterpillar is just moved to do this. You can imagine now he doesn't know why he's doing it because he hasn't quite figured out that he's going to become this beautiful winged creature. And maybe they can't talk to each other because it's a whole different dimension, right? So they just see these things. I wonder, they go, hey, there's my cousin Bob. He looks so different. I don't know, but you can imagine that he doesn't know that. And now he's in a tomb and it could feel like to him that he's going to die. And if he resists this phase where he thinks, I am going to die, the pain is so great, I'm claustrophobic, I'm going to suffocate, and he's literally just sloughing off, he's letting go of a layer, and he's preparing for a transformation of something much more beautiful and much more powerful. But if he fights it, if he eats his way out, if he resists, if he breaks out prematurely, then that transformation won't happen and he will die. And that's what it's like to be stuck in phase one and just turning your wheels, trying to do the same thing that got you there, instead of letting go of the things that are holding you back, which often are the things that got you there. Because you're holding so tightly to the way that got you there, to that success, a little bit of success, with that amount of success, with the kind of success that has led you to this point. But that very pattern is what is keeping you stuck. And if you can just let it go, there is an inner transformation that it will happen naturally. And then you have the chrysalis. So I'm going to be leading you through, let's see, timing wise, stop share on that. Okay, I'm going to be leading you through, it's pretty early on, but we're going to get warmed up right away with a meditative exercise to really bring home for you that lesson of the chrysalis. And this is a really important training to instill in those who are moving from phase one novice, which I realize I should probably pause and explain that, a phase one novice, and to review that, into a phase two knight. In fact, let me do that, skip that part. So as I said yesterday, a phase one novice is somebody who thinks everything that was important was taught in school. If it was important, it must have been taught in school. And that means that they don't think that dating involves skills and mindsets that they can improve on, learn, and master. And instead, they merely follow the steps the society and the schools and maybe their parents laid out for them. And they just follow the orders. And then they think that if they just follow the path that's laid out for them, they just do what they're told, then later on in their 20s and 30s, they should reap the rewards. Women should follow their feet, or at least they should have a wife, right? And in fact, maybe they do. And maybe this guy follows the orders and then gets a wife, and then he follows his wife's orders and then gets a kid, and then follows the kid's orders. And then he's just continually following orders, waiting for, as a good guy, the nice guy, he's a good boy. And as a good boy, he's waiting for his reward. And the reward for him really is to finally feel worthy, significant, loved, and accepted for who he is. And yet this whole time, he has not laid out his own path and instead has merely followed orders. And he thinks success with women is also just up to chance, where there's nothing you can do about it. You can't learn it. That's what he thinks. So he just thinks that, well, there are some guys who are successful and then there are some who are not. Well, I guess the difference between them, since you can't learn it, must just be serendipity. It must be up to chance, maybe some genetic thing. And if they can't get that success with women, they become bitter because they feel like they can't control it and there's nothing they can do about it. So the best they can do is to rebel against the system. And it's really unfortunate that that bitterness and resentment eats them up from the inside, simply because they don't know, they haven't learned, or they're maybe not open enough, they haven't opened their mind to the fact that success with women and these other areas of interpersonal relationships involve skills and mindsets that you can learn, improve, and master. And once you see that, just simply accepting it, it doesn't require extra effort to see this, you just see it. And it's an immediate thing. And now you're beginning to move out. As soon as you see that, you're beginning to move out of phase one. And the fact that you're watching this right now and investing in yourself in this way, setting aside this time for you, is huge, because what that tells you and us is that you are out of phase one, or you're moving out of phase one. But maybe you have some friends who are deeply in phase one and they don't think that you can learn it. And if that's the case, if they don't think they can learn things that they weren't force-fed in school, then that will mean that they lack deeper purpose in life. And what this also means is they haven't unlocked control of their own energy or their own motivation or their own mind. Okay, so the novice is a follower who lacks purpose and drive, often ends up bitter and resentful because he feels like he can't control how his life goes in the interpersonal realm. And he doesn't know that you can actually learn, improve, and master these interpersonal skills and mindsets. Okay, so that's phase one. And if that's you, you're gonna really want to pay attention to what we're gonna do here in this meditative exercise. Or if that was you at some times when you've kind of self-indulgently depressed or feeling depressed and you kind of just wallow in self-pity, I get it. And that's understandable if that's you, because you don't know where the next breakthrough is or how to get to the next breakthrough. So maybe you're optimistic that you can learn these things and you've seen other people learn them. Maybe you've heard about my story and how I had to learn it over a decade and a half ago. And you think, oh, clearly some people have learned it, but I don't know how to learn it. The things I've tried haven't worked. And if that's you, maybe you are in the right place. And if you're here right now, you're in the right place. And maybe you just need to let go of certain things, let go of some fears, let go of some insecurities, instead of holding tight to them and trying to get something to power through all of that, and instead let go. So maybe you're in a chrysalis and you don't even know it. And you think you're in this dark cave and it's endless because you don't know that you're in a chrysalis and a beautiful transformation is about to take place. So maybe that is the case. And if this is a possibility that intrigues you, then you'll want to listen into this meditation. And as always, put some headphones on, earphones. I highly recommend those. And if you're operating heavy machinery, you'll want to pull over. You don't want to be driving during this. This is going to be really gentle. It won't require you to say or do anything in particular. You just need to pay attention. Okay, so let's cue this one up, and hopefully all the tech will work for this as well. Oh, okay. Looks like that one has been closed. Let me just have to reopen this. 1 second here. Okay. I also want to do a shout out to all those joining in. Hey, Mervin, good to see you. Daniel, Don, great to have you on here. Oh, Sol, thanks for letting me know you can see that. Thanks very much. That's very helpful. And just queuing this up here. All right. Okay, great. Here we go. With your eyes closed, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. He smiled today for maybe the first time. He found a sliver of joy in the challenging place he was in, a bit of joy in the stretching thin. Like a deer hide strung up and pulled taut between two branches, placed in the sun, the weather, there to endure and then to be made into something stronger, more malleable, everlasting. He smiled because he understood he was becoming more solid in strength and being, all the more beautiful to the touch and the senses. He understood he was going through the time-consuming process of transformation from soft-hide, useless unless cured by the sun and weather, undergoing change of form, chrysalis, born one thing and evolving into another. There is a place one can arrive at only to lie down and surrender. There is a place where meditation is your only comfort. There is a place where we must be cured by the sun and weather, and this is not an easy place. Moments where we feel we are being overdrawn are rare. They are places of great shift and change and rebirth. Only a few of them in our lifetimes, more if we are so lucky. There is glory here squinting your eyes in the sun, bracing yourself against the wind, tethered between two branches, skin taut, tied against the forces that reel around you. You are being transformed. If you listen closely, you will hear your soul is actually singing. How beautiful your soul's great call to growth. Birth is no easy process. We are forced against our will to leave the comforting warmth of our mother's soft womb. We are pushed and squeezed through a tiny opening, spilling into another reality, at the mercy of our new environment. We learn to find our own source and to align with our own heartbeat. We are soft-skinned and vulnerable. We must move forward, grasping onto the helpful hands reaching out to us. We grow from small to strong, and we learn to stand on our own. And there are times in our lives when we must endure in order to be born into more wholeness. Times in our lives when we must wait out our great storms of unknown, traverse through unfamiliar landscape, wait in quiet submission and surrender. A major part of the learning is in the waiting, in the complete surrender. We must withstand the slow process of discovery unfolding. We must patiently wait for our learning to be uncovered, our path revealed. A major part of our learning is to smile in the storm, in the stretching thin, for eventually something of great value will be given to our soul. This is the place where depth grows, where the root is established, where the tree of our life grows more rings in age and wisdom, where you are challenged to grow through hard weather, where you either grow into a wise ancient tree or stay a seedling. Instant gratification or reward does not live here. The option to leave this place does not live here either. This is where nothing is revealed here quickly, where the greatest challenge and growth lives. Are you there now, dear friend? Are you exhausted from being against some unseen force? Are you tired from trying to force an end to where you are? Are you tired from trying to run forward
into more peaceful pastures, a more comforting place? Are you waiting out a storm within? Does it feel as though you cannot bear one more moment of it? If you are here now in this place, may I ask that you take a moment to take a deep breath. Relax your whole body. Open your arms apart, legs limp. Open your sheltered heart. Stop closing against it. Open. Open, dear friend. Let yourself be held between two branches and rest here. And keeping your eyes closed, breathe deep. And feel all the weight lift from your tired bones. Feel the pressure release from your chest. Let your breathing make you buoyant. And let go. You cannot rush this process of transformation. The amount of weather you can endure is directly proportional to the amount you will gain. Weather rises in fierceness and crashes in tear shore, and then it subsides. The only thing we can hold on to knowing is that it does recede. Allow yourself to not be in control. Find relief there in that idea, for you are not in control. Control is just an illusion. Know that something beautiful is taking place. You have already made the greatest journey from your mother's womb into the mercy of this wondrous life of yours. You have already said yes to the great mystery. Lift your face to the sun, the wind, the hail, and smile. It is in your favor. Do not rush this place, for you are in the time-consuming process of great transformation. You are rising. You are growing more malleable, more strong. You are growing more anti-fragile and beautiful. Now take a few moments to let your mind wander. Without judgment, just observing your mind as it wanders where it will.
Okay. And how was that for you as you take a deep breath in through your nose, through your mouth, and gently come back into wherever you are seated or wherever you are, and just taking a few moments here to hear from you how that was for you. And I'm just going to cue up some gentle background music here. Okay, so I'm going to take a few moments here, and keeping in mind there's about a 13-second lag between when I say something and it appears. So I'm going to kind of reminding myself to wait those 13, 15 seconds. And let me know how that was for you. What feelings came up for you? What insights? Let's check on the volume level here. I'll just take a few moments here to allow you to type in there. And Victor, good to see you. And Tayton, great to have you on. Jared and Perry as well. Daniel and Dawn, great to see you guys on here. Just taking a moment to notice how that message about the chrysalis and enduring and being anti-fragile landed for you. Soul wrote reassurance. Wonderful. That's a great word, reassurance. Great to hear that. Thank you, Soul, for sharing. Just going to take a few minutes here, or a few moments, to see if anyone else has anything to share about that, what they took away or what they experienced, or any feelings that came up for them during that meditation. And if there's anything else that struck you, feel free to put that into the comments. Okay, so just in the interest of time, I'm going to move on and tell you a little story about a client named Derek. But go ahead and you can keep writing in the comments or I'll see that. Any kind of experience you had as a result of the meditation would be great to hear from you about that. Soul wrote, physical release within the body, tension release. I'm very happy to hear that. Awesome, Soul. Thanks for sharing. So the story of Derek is one of our clients from a few years ago now, who was raised in a family setting where he was surrounded by only by women. So he was raised by a single mother and his aunts, and he just had sisters. I can't remember how many, but it was like 4 or 5 sisters or female cousins around in the house all the time. And his mom and her sisters had quite a negative view of men that they passed down to him. So by the time he came to see me in his early 20s, he had quite a lot of shame around just being a man, including just the way he peed and how much noise he made, just being a bigger person and just being a man. And he was very intimidated by masculine or dominant figures, as he put it, and any kind of authority figure that took charge or leadership kind of scared him. And he had a lot of trouble with assertiveness. And he was in his, I think his mid-20s by the time he met us and came to work with us at a live event. And he was already he was living still in the same home, having a lot of trouble detaching, or individuating is the term, from his family context, where he was quite dependent and ashamed, quite dependent on them for nurturing, and ashamed of just even his core masculinity. And we took him through a process that we are going to have a little bit here, but that I'm just talking about and telling you about, but I'm going to actually give you a more advanced process. But we gave him a process that helped him to access the next phase for him, which was this night energy, this warrior energy, this phase 2, what I call phase 2 night energy, where he was able to access this warrior within that was shamed in him when he was much younger. And accessing the warrior, he discovered he was actually a lot smarter and more powerful than he was led to believe by the constant shaming, and was, over the course of several weeks, able to get that independence of mind and spirit, that he could leave the job that was paying the bills, but he felt not using his potential. And he was able to finally leave the family home that was quite toxic for him. And he ended up quitting his job, having saved up enough to work freelance online. And this was before the pandemic, and was then embarking on a round the world trip for the better part of a year. And a big part of his breakthrough was moving from this phase 1 novice stage of being dependent, being stuck, being a follower, lacking purpose and drive, and then accessing that warrior energy that helped him to move naturally up into the phase 2 night energy. Now, a lot of self-help in the world addresses this move, but if you do it wrong, you actually end up with a really toxic warrior energy that ends up eats itself up from the inside. Actually doesn't lead to happiness and fulfillment, but instead leads to more neuroticism, more torture inside, a more obsessive drive to be enough. And it never goes away. That nagging feeling, as you bring that into phase 2 night with you, you might accomplish the outer trappings of a phase 2 night, who is like a warrior at work or your career, or maybe in athletics, more closer to a literal warrior. But it doesn't give you that peace of mind and calm and happiness and lasting fulfillment. And it also drives out love and connection in your life. That's not what we did for Derek. And instead, we helped him to access a healthy warrior phase 2 night energy. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on for the rest of today, to get you to see what that's like. And just before I go any further, just telling you about what a phase 2 night is. Oh, Kyle wrote weightlifting. Okay, cool. Oh, weightlifting from the meditation. Different emphasis on different words means something different. Weightlifting. Okay, awesome. Glad to hear that. So the phase 2 night is somebody who is different from the phase 1 novice, almost like a category. It really is a category difference. The phase 2 night crushes his goals because he's got this intrinsic drive from within that motivates him to go and crush those goals. He's not having to force himself to do it. He's got this confidence that comes from within, and that confidence is based on a track record, and it's based on skills that he's worked on and developed. And he's driven by something greater, a greater purpose and mission. Now, a lot of what self-help right now is aiming for is this phase 2 night type of energy, but they're doing it using a phase 1 kind of toxic approach, which is an over-reliance on willpower and forcing it. And here's a great example of it. I want to show this funny video that is actually a tour de force of acting as part of Shia LaBeouf's acting vignettes. And this is one of many that he did. And I just want to share this as a quick, I think it's like 1 minute. Just cue this thing up here. Okay, I think you see that there. All right, I'm just gonna play this real quick. Let me know what you think of it.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
Okay, I love that. Every time I see it, it cracks me up. And there's so it's a parody, obviously, of the self-help guru, the life coach. And it's actually pretty close to what they actually say. Like, you got to want it so bad. You got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. And they say things like, fucking do it, man. I don't really care if you've been sleeping. Get up and go. Right? Like, they say all this sort of stuff. And he actually says quite a lot of witty things. Yesterday you said tomorrow. It's just awesome. And it's hilarious because you see how ridiculous it all is. If that's all it took, if you just needed a cheerleader or a drill sergeant, and you might, if you're a teenager, maybe you're just really not motivated to do things the way that this current society is arranged, and you just got to get it done. And there's certain, when you're a dependent and you're not paying the bills, somebody else is paying the bills, like you're literally dependent. You kind of have to follow along just a little bit because you're not calling the shots yet. But when you're an adult, hopefully you have the wherewithal to see the bigger picture. And you can see how over-reliance on the just do it approach in the long run, not just for the exam that you're cramming for or to get the paper in before the deadline. But if you keep doing that, pulling all-nighters, doing stuff you don't really like to do, but you're doing it just because you need to get that result, and you do this not just for a year or 4 years, but for a decade or 2 decades. And I'm working with a lot of very successful people in the worldly sense in their 50s and 60s, really outside success, far more than myself. And they're coming to me saying that they've been unhappy for decades, but they didn't know any other way. And in fact, those achieving parts in them are so neurotically stuck in that pattern, they are afraid of stopping, of letting go of the poison that they've been ingesting and has been keeping them stuck in this kind of tortured existence, this tortured state. So a lot of self-help might sound like what I'm describing as the phase 2 warrior or the phase 2 knight, but it's not that at all. It's a lot more like this. A lot of self-help that you see in the world is a lot more like Sheila Buff's parody here. What I'm sharing is where that work comes from a place of natural motivation, where you get up in the morning and you attack the day because you're doing something that's meaningful to you and that has a greater purpose for you, that even is especially important, that's beyond yourself, that you're contributing to something that's more than just you getting pleasure or you getting significance. Now, it might start off that way because you're just understanding what that's like. But a phase 2 knight is also driven by this greater purpose and meaning that goes beyond himself. Okay, but there are these cons. And the downside of even a healthy phase 2 knight energy is that a lot of the achieving it's still this kind of one-dimensional reliance on the work, on the achievement. And it's really difficult for phase 2 knights to understand that, or even to contemplate that their self-worth is not tied to their achievements. Now, that might be you. Most of my clients and students are in phase 2 night, either at the beginning of it or somewhere in the middle. And it's really difficult for them because this is an assumption that they've been living with almost their entire lives, that your value as a human being is dependent on getting the right answers, doing well on the test, getting good grades, making a certain amount of money, getting some kind of worldly success, achieving. And that you're not just a better student or a better worker, or a better, whatever your occupation is. They think that you're actually a better human being, that you have more worth as a human being, and therefore are more worthy of love as a result of achievement. And hopefully there's enough intellectual sustenance or substance there in the person that you can stop and think and see that, oh, that sounds ridiculous. Obviously, that would mean that people who are less capable are less valuable as human beings. And some people might actually impale themselves on that horn of the dilemma there and say, yes, they are, not realizing they're actually taking this communist slash fascist slash, like Naziist view, where there are some superior human beings, not just superior workers or superior athletes or superior, whatever, but actually superior human beings. And this is why at the phase 2 night level, the achiever is always blocked from experiencing real love, because love that's attached to conditions. I'll love you only if you get an A on the test, or I'll love you only as long as you're smart. So if you get hit by a car and get TBI, traumatic brain injury, and now you have an IQ of 60, well, I'll stop loving you. And so many of these dudes, of these achievers, swallow that pill. They'll accept that Faustian bargain. Yes, that's my worth. It's pegged to my achievement, and I'll take it, not realizing that they've just made a deal with the devil. And this has prevented them from actually experiencing love and from the most important source, which is themselves, because they've accepted a value system that is rotten at the core. And this is unfortunately the limitations of that one-dimensional, we call it one-dimensional reliance on achievement in the phase 2 night stage. Now you're already above phase 1. So phase 1, you're not getting anything done. You're just like a bum. You're in a victim kind of swallowing mindset where you're just going through the motions, following the whatever dictates society's laid out for you, and hoping that then you will get the rewards, reap the rewards of love and happiness and all that good stuff. Phase 2 nights aren't blinded by that illusion. They know there's a lot of hard work that goes into achievements and getting all of these goods of society, whether it's just money or women or whatever it is. But unfortunately, they've pegged their own self-worth as human beings to their achievement. I've done many podcast episodes on this curse of the achiever. So I'm not going to, I could lecture about this for another 3 hours. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to reference that for you. And I'm just going to point out for you, that's the limitation of the night. The phase 2 limitation of button up against that achievement. And what you'll often see is phase 2 nights at the end of that period start to act out. Might get triggered too often because they're repressing all of this vulnerability that they won't let out because they think of it as weakness. And if they allow some weakness, then they're not going to be worthy of love anymore. That sort of fear. And of course, if you're not allowing vulnerability, you're never going to allow love, because love is an intrinsic part of love is vulnerability. And then they're going to burn out as well. And they just want to rest. They just want to finish. They're not so interested in that activity that was firing them up a decade or 2 ago. Now they're really, really good at it, sure, but it doesn't have that deeper meaning and enjoyment for them anymore. They're burnt out on it because they were over relying on that achievement, on that warrior energy, which has its place and is really important for succeeding in life and just paying the bills and giving that freedom financially to do what you want to do in life. So that's a necessary phase that I recommend that everybody go through, not skipping phase 2 night. But that phase 2 night has that limits where you get the burnout, where you start to act out or get triggered easily because of the repression is taking too much energy, too much mental and emotional, psychic energy to keep it down. And it is busting out when you're tired or when you start to reflect and you start to realize you're burnt out. Because the phase 2 night is still driven by those things that no longer satisfy or no longer feel like a purpose anymore and no longer have that meaning. Okay, so what can you do? And what often the phase 2 night does when he hits that limit is he just does what he's used to doing, but he doesn't have that intrinsic drive anymore. But the outer stuff of study hard, work hard, burn the midnight oil, same activity on the outside. And he's now going to double down on that. Have you ever been in that situation? And you might have taken this approach to getting better with women, where you take a very cerebral cognitive approach. I know that's what I did. And my curse was actually, I was so cerebral with it, I figured it out and I cracked it. And then I had a much bigger fall several years later. But for many guys, when they approach it in that kind of cognitive way of something that is actually an emotion, attraction, and that's something that's more felt inside, but instead they're thinking it out and they're watching YouTube videos for tips and then trying to parrot it out. Even worse is if they just do it over text and they copy and paste some gimmicky text messages and send those, and really doing an obvious false self, because now it's not even you coming up with what you're saying. And that not working for them, but they don't know any other way, because that's how they get out, they got to get on in life. That's the only thing they know. Now, there is another way that is super easy and super light and incredibly enjoyable. And I'm going to share with you a video that kind of leads you through what it's like to be a warrior and then come over the other side into what I call phase 3 sage. And there's a way to go through phase 2 night where it's natural and enjoyable, and you develop these great skills and experiences that you can call upon later, and that are just great life experiences. And now you have some freedom because you've kicked some ass in life for a period of time. And then there's another category shift, just like I was saying, from going from one dimension to the next dimension. You're looking for a completely different dimension that you didn't even know was there, but it's been there all along. Okay, so I'm going to share this really quick video. I think it's like 2.5 minutes to illustrate this. And I'm going to ask you at the end of it what you thought about it. So get ready. And I'm going to awkwardly pause when I ask you about it. And I'm going to sit here. And if you have nothing to say, like a university professor in Singapore, as I was taught before, count to 10, count the silence, because the students are reluctant to say anything. I'm going to assume you're a nice guy and you're reluctant to say anything because maybe you're not sure that what you have to say is worth sharing. I'm going to tell you it's worth sharing. It's so worth sharing that I'm going to pause after this video because I really want to know what you have to say. I'm going to awkwardly even stand here or sit here and stare into the camera while you come up with something that really hits you. Hopefully this will prime you to really pay attention and to pay attention to what's coming up for you in your mind and your heart, your feelings, as you watch this highly evocative video. Okay. Did I close it by mistake? Okay. We'd have to cue it up properly. Yikes. Got to go to 0. Okay, there we go. And here we go. All right. Okay, so great video, in my opinion. Obviously, that's why I'm showing it. What did you get from that? How did that land for you? Let me share some sharing music. Let's see if this works. Okay, cool. How was that? And I just wanted to also acknowledge Andrew in the group. I got to press this button so I can see the comments there. Thank you for your comment on the earlier meditation. Really enjoyed that. Thank you, David. The imagery was perfect. Thank you for sharing that, Andrew, in the group. So I'm waiting here to see what you thought of The Samurai and the Flies, the name of that video. What do you make of that? What did that mean to you? What did you notice? Make sure I can see everything. And again, there is a 15-second lag between when I say something here and it shows up on the video. So I will be pausing for that time and just allowing you to type in whatever thoughts you have about that, how that's struck you. Make sure I allow for that time there. Oh, Paul, that was cool. I really liked the quote in the beginning. Excellent. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? Thank you for that, Paul. Samurai and the Fly. What did you make of the beginning? He was this kick-ass samurai, and he was chopping flies with a sword. So he was a great warrior. And it turned out that his warrior skills were actually working against him, because obviously this is I don't know if it was obvious or not, but this is a kind of meditation device or teaching tool representing the whizzing thoughts that are in your head that go around and around and around. And you think that meditation is about calming them all down. They're supposed to just disappear. Of course, if you've done any kind of meditation for any length of time, you know that that's impossible and it's not even the goal. Oh, Soul wrote, fighting the wrong targets will multiply your issues. Focus on the right ones in the right way. Oh, interesting. Focus on the right ones in the right way. Joel wrote, meditation can bring peace to any situation. Yes, absolutely. Meditation is a basic skill, just sort of baseline to be able to be calm enough despite whatever thoughts are whizzing around your head. Soul, depending on what you mean, I just want to pull on that thread just a little bit. Focus on the fighting the wrong targets will multiply your issues. Focus on the right ones in the right way. So notice that in the illustration here, the warrior, eventually the turning point was noticing that the very things he was trying to fight were the things that were actually beautiful. Right? They actually morphed into, if you looked at it in a different way, it changed into these sakura blossoms. Victor shared how to overcome total frustration with peace. Excellent. Okay, great. So part of what I was showing that, the reason why I was showing that is also because, not just because it's just a powerful illustration of moving from phase 2 night or over-reliance on a warrior energy and moving into a kind of sage mindset or mentality or approach. But also it illustrates the letting go that's required to move into the next level. And you notice it's a beautiful illustration of you're actually seeing a whole other dimension. So the flies that he was trying to get rid of, when he was able to see them in a new way, in the new dimension, turned out to be these beautiful flowers that were just falling all around him. And it was just a different type of perception. Okay, awesome. Oh, Kyle wrote, amazing how your mind can change a bad situation into something that can bring you peace when you finally let go and stop fighting it. Yes, Kyle, really well put. Exactly. So I'm going to show just a few slides and then we'll move into the final meditative exercise that is really powerful. And it's one I've never done in this particular way before. Where did my slides go? Oh, okay, hold on. I think my slides went to the other dimension. I think they're in. Oh, sorry about that. I think I've just closed my slides. Okay, just looking for these. Oh no, I can't see anything on my computer here. Heart. Okay, I'm gonna have to go and hunt for it in my files. Sorry about this. I don't know why they closed on me here. Okay, there they are. Oh, I see. They are in a different, what do you call that? A different desktop? It's like a different display. Okay, I've got to figure out when I close it, how to not put it into a new dimension that I cannot find. Okay, here we go. Share. All right, play. Okay. Excellent. So this is where we left off, the chrysalis. And that Samurai and the Fly was helping to illustrate the difference between achieving from fear versus achieving from desire. So the very things that were driving us from before are now no longer serving us. And very often, so almost all achievement, if you trace it back far enough, if it's an achievement that is not natural, but instead requires willpower and discipline, it's almost always based in fear. And we don't call it fear, we call it stress. And I've taken this from Tony Robbins. Stress is the achiever's word for fear. And it's always like, I'm stressed about getting to work on time. Well, you're stressed because you're afraid that if you don't get to work on time, then something bad will happen. Or you're stressed that you didn't hand the project in on time. Well, you're stressed because you're afraid, you have a fear that if you don't hand the project in on time, then something bad will happen. Stress is always rooted in fear. It's just another way to put it. Now, it's beautiful because we try to, stick with the samurai fly example, or analogy, we're trying to beat all of the things that we're stressed about. And they're all driven by fear. And it doesn't work in the long run. It might work at the beginning. So it might have worked for your 4 years in university or something like that. And then you keep relying on this all the way through your 20s in your career. And guess what happens? You burn out, just like that warrior there, the samurai, because you can't keep putting out all these fires that are all there because of fear. In the long run, to get out of phase 2, what you need to do is to turn towards the fear. So then to think about, what if the critical parts of us are actually just afraid? And maybe I shouldn't have used the term critical parts. Maybe you can use the term our achieving parts. What if they're actually just afraid? And for those of you who are well aware of your inner critics, those parts that are telling you that you're not good enough or you're not worthy, and it's always going to be there paired with the achiever. The achieving part itself might not be the critical one. It might be the response to a critical part that says, if you don't work harder, then you won't be good enough. And then the women won't like you, or your parents won't like you, or you won't do well in school. And then you'll end up on the street dead or something, I don't know, or homeless. And these critical parts are actually all afraid. The criticisms are coming from a place of fear. And you can try to swat them away. You can try to meet the fear by trying to put out the fire, or you can turn towards the fear, which is it's counterintuitive, right? It's sort of like the example of the video game, where you keep doing the thing that got you to the stage, but there's some secret hatch that you have to do something completely different from what you had been doing before to open up this hatch, to open up the next level. And what's amazing is, instead of putting out these fires to stave off the fear, to instead, in order to move to phase 3 sage, to get to the next level, to get that breakthrough to the next level of joy, happiness, fulfillment, and the ease in life, especially, I know many of you guys, women is like forefront of your mind. That's how you found me, especially that ease with women. And that comes from turning to the fear. Okay, so let's listen to the fear. Now, you don't notice at first this fear, right? And these critical parts in us, they don't look or feel or sound afraid at first. In fact, they end up sounding angry or authoritarian. They might sound very sure of themselves, sure that they're right and that you're wrong. This is the criticism inside that drives the achiever to achieve. Well, what if the more sure and authoritarian these critical parts in us feel, the more scared they are really deep down? The same goes for the achiever. He's achieving because he's trying to stave off the thing that he's afraid of and has not actually confronted that fear really deep down. Critical parts are needing to exert control. Another way to look at it is that fear and control are two sides of the same coin. And that's what the samurai was trying to do. He was trying to control the situation by killing all of the flies. He's like thinking, if I can kill all the flies, then finally there will be peace. And he can't kill all the flies because the fear is still there and they multiply. And fear can be felt as panic, terror, anxiety, and it can also be felt as a kind of what is perceived to be a low-level worry or concern. The solution to this is not to fight the fear to stave it off, to say, of course you would be afraid or worried about that thing from happening. Let's work really, really hard to prevent it from happening. That approach is the face to night approach. And that can work in the short term, cutting the flies in half. But what happens is in the long run, you just burn yourself out because you can't run from your fears forever. You're going to have to face them, but not face them with the sword. You're going to have to face them with courage of vulnerability, opening up without your shield and sword, and going straight to the source of the thing that's causing all of this anxiety in the first place, and these insecurities and these fears and worries. Understanding that the critical parts in us feel that they have a good reason for being that way. So a good approach or an attitude to approach them with is, no wonder you would be afraid, or of course you would feel this way. Anyone in this situation, in this background that you're coming out of, would be like this. And coming with an interested curiosity from a place of compassion to listen to our fear and attend to our fear, not fighting it, not trying to stave it off, repress it, or exile it, but instead turning to it and listening to it. Okay, so this is a great illustration here. The ending of Monsters, Inc. The ending of Monsters, Inc. Made me cry. Move my hand. Made me cry some serious tears when Boo opens the closet door looking for Kitty. It just kills me. I love, this is Pixar. I better make sure I didn't look it up. This is Pixar. This is a really actually deep movie. And hopefully you've all seen this, Monsters, Inc. Right? And part of the lesson is the thing that you're afraid of is actually the thing you need to turn to. And this little girl wasn't afraid until towards the end. But here is just a beautiful illustration of what it's like, that inner child parts in us that are actually yearning for real confidence that comes from the courage to face the thing you're afraid of, not fight it off, but to face it, open and vulnerable. And it takes real courage to be open and vulnerable because you're so much more confident that you can handle, you can take it, you can take whatever's coming, rather than shielding up with a sword and coming in all guarded. And then what that does is it just feeds the fear and it grows. And you're not even aware of it because you think you're making progress on it. In the short term, you don't notice it because you're doing all this focus on stabbing. But in the long run, you're going to tire yourself out and the fears will just multiply. The thing to do instead is to attend to and turn towards the fear. Okay. Awesome. And finally, just before we move into that final slide there, I'm going to stop share. I'm going to lead you through a meditative exercise that is an incredibly powerful process. It is an unburdening process that we kind of just jump right to it. Normally in therapy, you would wait until 20 sessions or longer to go for this powerful type of unburdening. We're just going to go for it. I'm a little bit nervous about it. But if nothing really happens for you, it just feels nice, that's good too. But it very likely will result in a kind of process of letting go. Okay. And then we're going to pair that. It's going to have two parts. We're going to be unburdening, letting go of some burden that you've been living with that's kept you at the phase that you're in. And you might be deep in that phase. So this process will take you to the next step. And it might not take you completely out of that phase, but it's going to move you forward. Or if you're at the cusp, you're at the edge of that phase 2 night, this will very likely take you over the edge. Now we're going to have that unburdening process that will be embodied. You're going to activate your autonomic nervous system. Okay, you're going to make some noise, and it's going to vibrate through your body if you do it right. And it will start to activate your whole body, because we're not just our brains. Our brains are connected through our spine to the rest of our body. We are embodied creatures. We think with our whole bodies. Okay, so we're going to be doing some of that. You're going to be required to make some sounds. You're going to be required to say some things to yourself. The more you play full out, the more powerful the effect will be. Okay, so that first unburdening, and then we're going to pair it with a replacement. We're going to replace that space in you that is now that you've let go of the burden. We're going to replace where that is in you with positive qualities that you're going to integrate into yourself. And then we're going to cap it off with a real locking it in process. Okay, so it's really powerful, really awesome. We're going to start off embodying and finding in your bodies. It's very somatic. Okay, so got to really go for it. And if you've never done any kind of somatic therapy, it might feel kind of weird, but just go along. Okay, it's not going to be very long in terms of a process. So you got to really, we're going to go right for it. So you buckle up. We're going, it's not much of a warm up for this. I'm actually warming you up right now. And then you will be prompted to make a sound of that burden. And I'll lead you through. If you don't know what burden you might have, I've already told you some phase one novice burdens, and some of the burdens in phase 2 night of the burnout, of the acting out, of the repression, and so on, of not being able to see where that breakthrough will be. Okay, so these are, or you might even be able to identify behavioral patterns that are keeping you back, maybe procrastination, maybe addiction to porn, or something along those lines. Whatever, if you have an idea of what it is, that's great. If you don't worry, I'll lead you through it once we get going. But I also want to prompt you to, when you play full out, you're going to be asked to make a noise, and the more you go for it, the more powerful it will be. Now, my 4-month-old infant is in the other room, so I can't go like I want to. But if I were doing it here, and I know some of you younger guys are living with roommates or your parents or something, so you can't scream all out or whatever. So what the best you can do is the best you can do. So for me right now here with my infant son over there, I don't want to wake him up, is going to be, okay, hopefully that didn't wake him up. And that's good. But if you can go all out and get that growl, get really into it, and wherever that is in your body, the more you go for it, the more powerful it will be. Similarly, you're going to be replacing it with an angel tone. And again, go for it. So I've done this process live in person. I got to say, in person, it's just so much more powerful. And partly the reason why it's so much more powerful is because the guys in the room, they just go for it. Now, I've done it without prompting it, priming it like this. And when I go for the replacement tone, the integration part of it, you hear these guys are really shy about making like singing or something, making a sound. So they go, that's no good. I mean, if that's the best you can do, that's the best you can do. But really try to go, and just try to get it out there. Your voice just cracked. See, it doesn't even matter if you can sing or at all, but just go for it. Okay, so I know many of you have limitations. I get these guys who are younger. I don't know how to do it. Don't worry, just make the best of the situation and just do your best, forget the rest, okay? So you're gonna wanna have your headphones on for this for sure. Also, if you're operating any heavy machinery, you absolutely have to pull aside for this. And just go for it. I highly recommend that you close your eyes for this, but if you don't, our team has prepared a nice trance-like video for you. But it would be better if you could close your eyes. Okay, so let's see if there are any issues. All right, soul is ready. Awesome. Let's do it. So I'm just going to cue it up. Okay, here we go. Think of something in your life where maybe you felt some real pain, or maybe when you could think about it, some suffering, some real pain, something in your life that maybe it happened years ago and it had a really negative effect on your life. Something somebody said or did, or something you said or did, and even though years have gone by, it's still there. It still affects you, and you're tired of it. And today, why not kick its ass and get it out? Do you have something like this that it's time to get rid of? Right now, once and for all, that if you focus on it, it feels like shit, it feels horrible. Raise your hand if you've got something. Nice and high, raise your hand right now.
Awesome. Then, standing up with your eyes closed, let me show you something really awesome for you to do. And you'll just do it instinctively. This is your own experience. Your eyes are closed. You're not thinking of anyone else. Just do it instinctively. Do it without hesitation. I want you right now to think of the feeling, the emotion that you associate with the situation that bothered you so much, that's still bothering you, or could bother you if you focused on it. Some form of suffering that you've had that it's time to end. And I want you to pick something that on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being horrible, 0 being not at all, that's at least a 7 or an 8 or more. But I want you to pick something that today, right now, for the next couple of minutes, we're going to kick its ass. We're going to get it out of us. Something you're committed to finally get rid of, because life is too short to live with pain, too short to suffer over the past, isn't it? If you've got something that fits that category, raise your right hand above your head and shout the word yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Great. Now, I want you to do the following with your eyes closed. I want you to find the feeling, just instinctively, that experience, that painful feeling, the emotion behind it. The experience itself, somewhere in your body. Don't think, just instinctively touch where it is in your body. Where is it stored in your body? Reach out right now and touch where it is, and keep your hand there. While your hand is in that position right now, I want you to tell me, what is the shape of that emotion, of that event? If you had to give it a shape, just say it out loud. What's the shape? What's the shape? How big is it? How big is it? Say it out loud. How big is it? Say it out loud. Say it out loud. Awesome. So you know where it is, you know its shape, you know the size. What's the texture feel like if you touched it? Say it nice and loud. Go. Now as you feel that texture and its size, what color is it? That painful experience. What color is it? Nice and loud. What is it? What color is it? Nice and loud. Go. So you know its shape, you know its size, you know its color, and now the music that belongs with this. If there were a sound that was associated with this, you know what it is. What is it? What's the sound? Make the sound. Go. If there was a phrase that this negative experience said to you, instinctively, the first phrase that pops into your head, say it the way it would say it, this ugly feeling, this terrible memory, this painful experience. If it had to say one sentence, say what it says. Say it the way it says it. Go. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Now, the next step. You need to give your all to and no hesitation. Touch that spot where this pain is, where this memory is, and it's time to get rid of it. And when I say now, I want you to make the most intense sound you've ever made in your life from that spot. In other words, the sound is going to come out of you from that location. You're going to make the loudest, most intense, most horrific sound. And when you think it's gone, just keep going. Keep going. We're going to extend it until I tell you to stop. And if you need to, we'll do it more than once. Are you ready? Then make the sound of that pain now. Do it without stopping. Again. And when you think it's done, pick it up again and extend it. Extend the emotion. Give it all you've got left. Go. Keep going. Extend all the emotion. Go. Extend the emotion. Go.
And help it grow just like it was born to be. Come, 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 come. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Now, touch the same spot. And from the same spot, make the sound of an angel tone. Whatever that is to you, make the angel tone coming from that same spot. Go. Make out loud from that same spot the angel tone. Whatever sound that means to you, make that sound now. From the same location. Go. Do Do it again, the angel tone. Make it feel beautiful, magnificent, and have it come from that location. It replaces the old feeling. Do it again. Do it again. One more time, the angel tone. Enjoy it this time. Go. Perfect. Now, as you breathe deep in that place, you'll feel that it's changed in its shape. What shape is it now? Say it out loud. What shape is it now? Say it out loud. Good. Now, touching that spot, make the angel tone again. The angel tone, make it feel beautiful, magnificent, and have it come from that location. It replaces the old feeling. Do it again. Make the angel tone again. And enjoy it. Enjoy it. Make the angel tone and enjoy it. Perfect. As you breathe deep in that place, you will feel that it has changed its shape from before. What shape is it now? Say it out loud. What shape is it now? Say it out loud. Awesome. I want you to now pour into that same location the most beautiful, powerful color in the universe, whatever that is to you. Pour it into that location and have it pour out of that location like it cleanses it. But make the angel tone while you create that color, and make that color not just go to that location, but fill your entire body with that color, whether it's gold or white light or green or yellow or whatever it is for you. Are you ready? Make the angel tone and feel every cell of your body, starting from that location with that color, while you make the angel tone. Go! Do it again and enjoy it. Go! Again, make the angel tone and feel every cell in your body, bathe it in that magnificent color. It cleanses everything. And notice how light things can feel. And while you're doing this now, as you create the angel tone, feel how good it feels there. Now I want you to repeat after me a simple phrase and just feel whatever comes up. The first phrase I want you to say is, could I just let it go? Say it. Could I just let it go? Would I just set it free? Could I just let it go? Would I just set it free? When will I let it go now? When will I let it go now? Could I just set it free? Would I trust in grace to let it go? When will grace let me let it go now? Could I just enjoy my life and let it go? Would I just feel the beauty of my life and set it free? When will I let it go now? When will I let it go now? I'm not alone. Lots of people feel these things. And as you do, feel your heart breathing deep and full. For I'm not alone. Lots of people feel this way. What if all this was for a greater good and for the unfoldment of my heart and soul? Say it. What if all of this was for a greater good and for the unfoldment of my heart and soul? Could I just let it go? Would I just let it go now? Would I be willing to just set it free? Would I set myself free? When will I set myself free now? When will I set myself free now? I'm not alone. Lots of people feel this way. I'm not alone. Lots of people feel this way. What if all this happened for a greater good and the unfoldments of my heart and soul? Now I want you to keep your eyes closed. Take both your hands and put them on your heart and breathe deep in your heart. As you breathe deep in your heart, just think of one moment you can feel grateful for in your life. One beautiful, magical, miraculous, blessed, loving, or happy moment which you can feel truly grateful for. And fill up with that feeling of gratitude. Breathe deep into it and take one of your hands and put it on your forehead while the other stays on your heart. And just breathe in your heart and in your forehead simultaneously. So like the energy is simultaneously in your heart and in your forehead. And let it feel good. Like a lifelong healing is happening. Feel the energy in your heart and in your front of your brain as you touch it. And say, I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. Go. We'll do it 3 times. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. Now take the hand on your forehead and put it behind the back of your head, the back of your brain. The other one still on your heart. And this time, as you breathe in your heart, feel the beauty and power of your heart and feel the back of your brain as all the energy goes through both simultaneously. And say, I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. And feel filled up with that heart energy. We're going to do it 3 times now. Go. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And take the hand off your heart and put it in the front of your head. So now there's a hand on the front of your head and on the back of your head. And breathe so that your entire head and brain feels your heart's energy from front to back. And say it 3 times. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. And just say thank you 5 times. And every time you say it, feel it more deeply. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now, put both hands back on your heart. Breathe in your heart. And think of another moment you're grateful for in your life. And step into it like you're there. And feel it and breathe it. And be grateful for it. Enjoy it. Take it in. And as you breathe in your heart, say, all I need is within me now. 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 And as you breathe in your heart, make the angel tone once again. And just say thank you 3 times. Thank you. Thank you. And go back to where that feeling was and notice from 0 to 10, what do you feel now? 10 is horrible and 0 is not at all. What number would you give it now? Say it out loud. With your eyes closed, what's the number you give it now? 0, 1, 2, 3? Think whatever the number is and hold it up in your hand. No one's going to judge you for it. There's no right or wrong. Perfect. If your number was less than 7, you're successful. Awesome. So hold it. I just want you to feel, hold it. The inside of you now, there was a beautiful, subtle shift. And now you're going to think about how much grace did you witness? How much grace did you experience as you started this course? How much guidance did you experience? How much insight into life and love to make them so much more beautiful? And so we'll sing a little song just to shift states. Enjoy and congratulations.
Okay. Awesome. How was that for you? We'll take a moment here to hear from you, and please share and write in the comments there. I'm going to just cue up some sharing music. Okay. All you need is within you now. How was that for you? How did that land for you? What did you experience in terms of the gratitude that it led you to after transforming that trauma or the memory of the burden that's been weighing you down? What did you experience as a result? How did that land for you? How was that for you? And it's going to be, as I'm saying something, it takes about 13 seconds for that to appear on the video. So I'm going to be waiting at least that amount of time to allow you to type that into the comments there, and just allow you to share how that was for you. Go ahead and type that in the comments. How was that process for you? Allow for that time for you to type that in. How did that go for you? Don't be shy. Go ahead and type those comments in there. Some of you may still be processing what that was for you, and maybe if it's your first time going through a guided meditative exercise like that, it may just be maybe a shock to your system a little bit, and that's okay too. Just sharing that would be great. All right. Soul wrote, interested to see the previous painful memories that are not painful anymore, and noticing deeper pains, more recent things, realizing what they are now. Beautiful. That is powerful, Soul. I'm very happy for that for you. And Paul shared, that was powerful. Really felt all I need is within me now. Beautiful. So happy to hear that. John wrote, good. Okay, Take that. That's good. Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, guys. And I'll just keep this background music going as I lead into this next final section. Oh, just mentioning here, gratitude is the antidote to the fear. So we left off with the ending of Monsters, Inc. here. And we led towards the end of that to gratitude, the end of that process. And that's what we're going to make as our challenge for today's challenge. They're going to be a series of questions. The first question is, and by the way, you can get this in the downloadable action sheet at the concierge page or inside the challenge group. The question number 1, what fears, anxieties, or worries have been leading to stress in your life? You write down as many as you can fit into that space, or just pick one. Number 2, what in your life can you appreciate even more right now? And this is assuming that you played full out and did that meditative exercise that we did just now with the angel tone. Third question, what are 3 things you can be grateful for in your life that you can be grateful for in your life on a daily basis, and include at least one simple thing in that? What are 3 things you can be grateful for in your life on a daily basis? Oh, thanks for the hearts and thumbs up, including at least one simple thing. Okay, and so your, just share on the slides. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, will be to go live and share the 3 things that you can be grateful for, that you've discovered that you can be grateful for, and especially the one simple thing that you can do, be grateful for every day. That simple thing you can be grateful for every day. Just to simplify it, you could share just one of those things, or to win brownie points, you can share all 3. Okay, so that's the challenge. You can find the action step written out for you in the downloadable action sheet that you can get from the concierge page or inside the challenge group. All right. Oh, Soul also wrote, oh, is that the same? Interested in seeing what my happy memories are and how they are given by kind women. Also felt extremely sleepy at the end for some reason. Good. It puts you in a kind of trance state. So one of the reasons I say you should not be operating heavy machinery while doing this meditative exercise. It should put you in a very calm, relaxed state. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be hitting up day 3 tomorrow, and we'll be moving into phase 3 sage. The thing that I did that I've never done before is to use this angel tone letting go process to help you activate phase 2 night for you. Instead of relying on a more aggressive meditative exercise, and I have many of those, and those are also very useful, but trying to just instead remove the barriers to your natural motivation coming out, because we're all motivated to do things. None of us, well, unless you're burnt out, no one really wants to just sit and do nothing. You'll be bored out of your mind and you want to do something. And often early on in life, we've chosen to do a thing that wasn't very meaningful to us, but that we kind of just were in the survival mode, and we carried on in that mode for years and decades. With the letting go process, you're beginning to slough off those extra layers, or those unnecessary extra layers, and getting to the core of the things that really drive you. And that'll get you closer and closer to your deeper purposes in life and these intrinsic meaning and motivation that can drive you. Okay, I'm going to go even deeper tomorrow into the phase 3 sage process of moving you from phase 2 into phase 3 to unlock that love, connection, and passion in your life. So before I go today, I want to announce the winners. The winners for the day 1 or the day 2 challenge. The winners for the challenge that was issued yesterday are, and by the way, the bonus prize, the big prize for today, is free access to our 8+ hour step-by-step system called the Perfect Date System. And there are tracks for both single guys and guys in relationships. So this is something that will pay off for the rest of your life. Once you get into a relationship, you're going to still need to be romancing your wife, going on dates and so on. All the same principles apply. And if you're single right now, you got to really rock that date. You know, you can hook it up, make the date happen over the phone, but then you got to show up on the date and make it amazing and have a great time. And there are principles behind that. And this Perfect Date System course walks you through the 5 principles in many different scenarios. So this is an awesome must-have course. And the winners of this course are The drum roll, please. The first winner is Ronnie Morrill. Ronnie, congratulations. Congratulations. And write to support at auradating.com to claim your prize. And the second winner, based on submissions since the beginning of the challenge, is Brian Mullard. Brian Mullard, congratulations. You're the second winner, and write to support at auradating.com to claim your prize, the perfect date system. And congratulations, guys. I look forward to seeing all the other live video entries. Remember, we have bonus prizes tomorrow and the day after, and we have a grand prize at the very end. So we're giving out prizes all week long, and we have a grand prize at the end. I also want to acknowledge all the platinum partners who are participating. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, even though you know and I know that you have complete access to all of our courses, including the ones that these meditative exercises are in. So you can do them over and over. But I really appreciate you hopping on. I have nothing really else to give you because you have access to all of our courses already. But I really want to give you a shout out and appreciate your participation. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing your live video entries sharing the 3 things you are grateful for. And those could be some of the memories that came up during the meditation, or it could be anything else that you realize you could be grateful for on a daily basis. Okay, so I look forward to seeing that from you, and I will see you same time, same place for day 3 tomorrow. Until then, David Tian signing out, and I just want to give a shout out to everyone who's on with us: Stephen and Joel and Sol and John and Paul, and Victor and Wayne and Guy and Edmund and Mervyn and Kyle and John as well. Thanks so much, Suman. Thanks so much for all of your participation and for being on with us live. If you're on replay, give us a shout in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We'll still get these notifications. I look forward to seeing you in the challenge group and look forward to seeing your live video entries until tomorrow. Same time, same place. David Tian signing out. Breakthrough.